Okay, I think it's working. We'll find out shortly. Hey everybody, welcome. It's another one of those chaotic weeks where apparently my capture card doesn't want to do its job. It has one job. It's to capture. It doesn't want to do that. So I'm trying a different setup, and I think I've got it ready. We'll find out shortly. I guess we'll find out how effective it is. If you give me a second, I'm pulling up uh, my chat here to make sure I can see everything and make sure. Let's see. Let's do that and that. Okay. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Is there? Where did the chat box go here? I don't see a chat box. Is there a chat box? All right. I do have other people in the office though. Wait. Let's see. Oh no, I think I can do it here. Hold on. Let's see here. There's a way. I thought the chat box showed up in OBS now that I'm doing a different. Maybe not. I did at one point. So where did the chat box go? Docs, chat, there we go. I don't see chat. Is there no chat? Oh, there it is. Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Mechanical Null. I appreciate that. And now I have. Okay. All right. Let's find out. I have no idea what happened, but for whatever reason, the HD60 capture card just decided it didn't really want to do its job. So it's not capturing. But I think I have the backup set up using OBS Ninja. So let's see if this works. Okay, and is my cursor? Okay, so all right, now we have a backup whenever the capture card dies. Hopefully the quality is still visible. If there's any glitches with it, let me know. But it is it's working. All right, so updates. Let's see. This week, I'm actually excited. I need to stall a little bit. Hopefully, a few more people join, just because I would like some feedback from y'all to like what we should do this week, because we got a couple different choices, and I feel like if I choose, it may not be what y'all want to see. So the people who are here early get to help tell us what we're gonna do. First thing we're going to cover is just the updates. We'll talk about what's happened in the last couple of weeks. And then we'll either be working on a couple of different plugin ideas, or we'll just do some RE, and we'll start poking around with that. So I've got a couple things that I'm thinking about. And for now, let's just go look at our updates for the past 2 weeks over on GitHub. So in the meantime, let me know in chat what your preference is. I do a lot of plugin writing because for me, like, I feel like just writing some Ninja plugin is kind of like a nice default because it's what I do most of the time anyways. And so for me, it's like the easiest, most like comfortable. But that's not necessarily what makes the most interesting thing for y'all. So I think in the past, people have said they really enjoy watching me flounder with reverse engineering, which is fair. So we'll see what. And if y'all don't vote, then I get to choose, and I probably will choose just to work on some plugin stuff. But we'll see. So these are actually a couple interesting ones. I'm just looking at the open issues first before we go to the ones that have been closed the last couple of weeks. Some cool ideas that are coming. Obviously, just better type libraries. We were actually testing out some Mac binaries, and we realized that just like the Mac standard libraries weren't in the type libraries, and so we really want to improve those as well. I think that lacking type libraries tends to be one of the more obvious things that can really improve the quality of analysis, and it's sort of an easy thing to do, right? There's nothing super hard about that. That might be medium effort. It might even be low effort. I think so just for y'all's benefit, our current sort of meaning behind the tags is that like a high effort task is like add a decompiler, like major, massive 6-month, year, like big tasks. A medium effort thing is like on the order of like multiple like weeks or maybe small number of months kind of thing. And a low effort task is like it should be doable in a week, or less. And then we've got a new one. We used to just do low, medium, high. Now we have a trivial. So if you actually look at the labels, there is a trivial effort one. And so the trivial ones are the ones that we're mostly going after for our bug bashes that I think I mentioned on stream last time, which is every Thursday now we start to just really go for like little quick easy bugs that we can bang out. RE something. Reversing Windows or Objective-C app sounds good. Yeah. An Objective-C app. I'm curious. Maybe trying to get Josh's plugin on Objective-C working would be interesting. Josh Watson worked on a plugin that did Objective-C. Thank you, Twitter, for having that right up top. That really helped clean up Objective-C binaries. I'm curious what they, but like I think it was a little bit slow. And the main thing is this really needed workflows, which now exist, but it's going to be a lot of work to go back and redo it. The idea is that, instead of applying some of these transformations just totally after the fact. So Eric, actually, that's a good point. See, Windows. So if we did a Windows, we would be doing like a before and after. That's not a bad idea. So we can look at, I like that idea. Let's do it. We'll RE a Windows binary, and we will kind of do a before and after. So we can do it now, and then we'll do the same binary after we've done our next 3.1 release, and we'll see. Hopefully, it looks a lot better. And so maybe we can get some ideas for things to do. I think that's a good idea, Eric. That also checks the RE something box. So I think that'll be good. So yeah, instead of the Objective-C, let's do something with Windows. And suggestions welcome if y'all have Windows. Actually, there's a fair amount of Windows crack me, so I might go find some crack me to look over there. But back to the issues. So trivial is like a day, hours, maybe a couple days. When it starts to get to a week, it starts to be like low effort, plus several days, a week, or multiple days or a week or so is low effort. Multiple weeks or small number of months would be medium, and then many months is high. So that's the kind of current. Just so if you've got like an issue you're waiting on, and we sort of label it that way. Of course, this stuff is just always a guess, and you never really know. We often will find out like something that we think was harder. Well, usually it's, of course, you think it's easier and it turns out to be harder than the other way around. But sometimes it does. Oh, look, we've got some pull requests. Oh yeah, this one just came in today. I saw that. There was a bug that Josh submitted a PR for. And then this was on the build system that was a commit a little while ago. I think I was just waiting for a review. Okay, so let's go back to the issues. So that's, again, our kind of context. You can also see, we used to do our like big scrub on Wednesdays, and now Peter and I are trying to do them on Monday, where we'll go through and actually like do an initial categorization, and then we'll sometimes other people will chime in because we'll want more feedback, or like if neither one of us knows the actual difficulty, or really we don't really understand the code base, that part of the code base well enough, we'll ask somebody else to take a look at it, but we kind of do it like a first level scrub then. So anyway, that's kind of the sausage making stuff, but let's look at what's changed. So here are the closed issues, and let's see how many of these are. All right, so we got a good page full, not quite a page full. Thanks. Software updates are no longer provided. That's great. It's a crash. Imports. Oh, this was the one I think. Was this part of what? Yeah. Peter actually fixed this one. So you would actually get proper imports for a Linux kernel module, or an export for a Linux kernel module. Glenn fixed this one. Yeah, this is one. You know what? That's great. I didn't even notice that got fixed. This was a really silly bug, but it was annoying. Oh, wait, did it actually get closed? Or is it just marked as duplicate? Oh, no, it's still just that one. It's not actually fixed yet. Yeah, that one's like a little bit of a minor one, right? So if you're actually in the like transform thing, so you want to like, um, let's do like, yeah, you want to encrypt something. It's going to pop open and ask me for the encryption key, and I can't just like paste into here. I can right click, especially if I hit the right hotkey. I can right click, but this control V is not actually going to work here. It's just a bug when the UI, you had to use the right click menu to paste into it instead of being able to do it directly. So not actually fixed though, unfortunately. I just was caught as a duplicate of something else. What else got changed? Just some documentation fixes. Oh, that was a nice little fix. Yeah, there was a little regression on if you saved a layout, you did the a save layout, like you set your Windows settings, it would give you a whole bunch of bogus ones. So that did get fixed. Yeah, so this is an interesting one I'm going to call out just because really what it represents. So first, it actually might even be better converted to a discussion. Thank you, Kyle. I missed all the stuff that's changed. So issues, sort by, recently updated is actually, I think I can do closed to sort by when it was closed, but is closed. I think I can say, yeah, that's still probably okay. It is. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna have to go back and double check and see what we missed. But let me talk about this one for a second. So this this back edge, this is really an interesting kind of thing that we were looking at internally. So this came about because somebody was building a loop detection API. So there was a bug, and as part of the bug bash, somebody was working on the like being able to tell Zane was working on whether or not you could tell if you were in a loop. And so inside of a loop, you can use like the SSA forms to kind of compute this stuff. But one of the things that you want to be able to know is an outgoing edge a back edge, right? Like if I follow from a basic block all the way to the end of the function and none of the blocks that it passes through have back edges, it's not in a loop, right? A back edge is defined as one that actually goes previous in the control flow, essentially. But that's actually kind of where the debate came in. What exactly is a back edge, and how do the dominators work? And here's the sort of decision we came to, because we were kind of looking at this and not sure where we landed, but there is the idea is, can the destination of a back edge, does that dominate the current block, right? And this just sort of has to do with like, so a dominator is essentially something that you must go through to reach a child. So if I need like a drawing thing here, or a whiteboard or something. If I've got several basic blocks and a child where the child can be reached through multiple parents, and one of the outgoing edges from that child goes back into one of its parents, but not the other one, then the parent doesn't actually dominate the child, because there exists a path through the control flow graph that doesn't go through that parent. Does that make sense? So I say it's a parent because it's sort of like is higher up on the control flow graph, but it doesn't actually dominate the child, because a dominator means there's like, so the entry point of a function dominates every other basic block in that function. In other words, to get to those functions, you must go through that parent. So that's what the concept of a dominator means. And then and there's also like the strictly dominant is another one, but strictly dominant just means also it's not itself, because I think every basic block is itself. Is that what it is? Eric probably remembers this, but I always have to go double check every time I look this up. But the idea here was Binary Ninja considers something a back edge if there exists a path from that edge background that can get me back into that basic block, right? That is essentially a back edge. I think that's right. But not that necessarily dominates, right? So there could be other paths through it. And so that's essentially what we were seeing in a couple of these examples. And so this, we were seeing something that was labeled a back edge, but it was not in the dominators. And the answer is, well, that's right, because our back edge calculation just says there exists a path through which you can come back into this, but no, it may not be the only path. There may be other ways that I can get through that control flow. So that was kind of I think that's worthy of converting this. In fact, if I'm going to make a note of this now and copy the URL because I think we should actually convert this to a discussion. Stream notes, convert this to a discussion because I think that would actually be useful for explaining the differences between those APIs, or maybe updating the documentation, putting them there. Okay, let's go back through now our list in order. That's page 2. We're gonna look at 14 days ago and see what we got. Oh, just the one. Okay. Yeah, that one that we already had. All right, that was a duplicate. Okay, so let's actually go up here. Let's back up. Is my machine hanging? It is. Okay. So, all right. Documentation. Yeah, there was a bug in the tests. Save layouts. Oh yeah, this was nice. This one got implemented. I think Glenn did this too, right? We kind of had a lot of debate over this. This came up a lot, but on macOS, actually here, let me pop open my my secret. See, this is a real binary. This is where all my secret stuff is. Oh no, hide my sensitive things. It's not. And if I open a applications, right? Like if I wanted to go into like O&O and open up that thing, right? I can actually do that now. And I can go browse into it and explore the binary and then open up directly. Whereas before, if I was unstable, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So it turned out Glenn was able to do that. We thought we were just going to wait for like Qt to make an update, but it turned out Glenn was able to fix that during one of the previous bashes. And I'll have you note, that one was labeled as medium effort, but he cranked that out pretty quickly. So that was nice. So it is true. Sometimes we get lucky and the bugs are easier than we thought. So, all right, let me make sure I still get my chat up so I can see if people are talking. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, that's a nice little small quality of life improvement. Did this get, yeah, this one also was fixed. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, so like existing types by default, we actually used to have this problem where like the change type dialog box had like a most recent list, which yeah, that's nice. But you still always want, if I hit like Y on something to change its type, it should always start with whatever the current type of that thing is, right? Because usually if you just want to make a change to part of it, you don't have to redo the whole thing. And so it should always start with that, even if like you tap complete to maybe like frequently use stuff, or you've got like a history of things in there. So that was fixed in the general case, but it was not true for externs. So if you actually change the type of an extern, it didn't do that, and it now does. External calls get more just unresolved control flow. Huh. So this bug affected all direct jumps into externs. Oh, things that didn't go through like got PLT style setup, I take it. Okay. Another little bug that got fixed. Yeah, there's basically a way that we no longer activate your discrete GPU on a Mac. Which sometimes there's a good reason for doing that, but I think there was it was originally enabled because it was required for QWeb Engine, because you know it's Chrome, essentially Chromium embedded in Qt. But since we're no longer shipping QWeb Engine, we can just disable that, and your battery life probably thanks us. And there's that one we talked about with that. There was a bug in the UI that got fixed just with updating a version of Qt. Can change the stack adjustments. All right. Another little bug on Windows. And we didn't even wait for the Windows update for that one. Oh, this is a complicated one. Yeah, this is one that's almost worth another discussion too, I think. Like, yeah, if you do, I think this is the one where if you do multiple lines. Oh, never mind. No, this is not the one I was thinking of. It was just a little bug on the selection UI. Yeah, if you, so let's see here. If I have a binary, and by the way, you'll notice this has the old behavior back. So this is a test branch. This is not live yet. I was wondering if this, yeah, this might very well not work. Oh, it does work. I did work. Look at that. There we go. Okay, so this will be live on Dev in a little bit. It's not quite yet. As an aside, right? This is the in progress 3.0 UI refactor with, you know, it's got side panel. It used to be if you were on stable, which bring up stable, and you popped open the Python console and the log and then opened a binary, the symbol list and the cross references would take over the whole sidebar. I think my machine is a little more bogged down than normal, so it's a little slow today. Having to both do its streaming. That's one of the reasons I use the capture card for capturing off device and encoding off device. So you'll notice here, like this was the full width, right? The symbol list over here, which was nicer because usually you didn't want the whole width for, and you could do like side by side for these two. And so this is what like the current kind of dock widget system is. It's like really flexible, but it also is a little cumbersome. And then when you do both of these, you've got like the tabs down here, but then the title up top. And so now what you're seeing here is, this is the new one where this is kind of the beginnings of what we're going to have. The fact that it pops up to the side is because the tiling window manager. I'm always actually pleasantly happy when it works, even with the tiling window manager out of the box. But this is sort of the new look, which I think is a much cleaner look where you can see, I can grab them and I can split them. That's nice. So Rusty just landed this on a test branch. It's not quite ready for dev yet, but soon that'll come. And then, I mean, the biggest thing was before, just a few commits ago, in fact, if I go on latest dev, you'll see this area, which has log and Python console. First, I can't split it yet, and it's going to take up the whole bottom, which is usually not necessarily. Usually, you'd rather have more room over here. So this is kind of like the intended layout. So it's coming together. I think really the main big UI feature, sort of once this gets cleaned up and landed, is going to be the view splitting and syncing of the main pane, and that's going to be like one of the big kind of hallmark features of 3.0. So we've already got the side panel done. Rusty's redone how the tabs work, which I think I showed off last week, right? Like it's much nicer now. I can even pull out and split this into a new window. Oh, I was just scared there for a second. Pardon the glitches. Sorry, I can split out tabs. You can drag tabs back in. And the important thing is, wait, can I drag it back in? Oh no, I did manage to break it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, again, this is just tiling window manager, so I'm amazed it works at all. Things are definitely not normal here. This is not a supported configuration. I just use it anyways. So this, yeah, this tab layout is nicer, and the fact that these tabs run all the way above this, again on stable, the symbol list came all the way up to here, and the tabs were just on the right, which is super annoying because things like wiggled and moved, right? So like, look at my cursor, like where this thing is now. If I make a new tab, it jumps over here because the panel went away. So that like movability. Hey Fox, welcome. Oh Fox, you always like it when I do some reversing, so you're just in time. We're gonna do a reversing day. I tried to weasel out and just do some plugin writing, but the audience was demanding reversing. So we'll be doing that once we finish catching up on all the changes of the week. Yeah, so that side, or that main window being way up top there is like, it's a little change, but it just really helps because things stay in the same spot as I open up new tabs, which is much nicer than it was before. And you'll notice the panel will expand or contract, but it does that like independently, and it doesn't throw off the tabs. So this is really coming together. Like I said, this is nice. We've got our, this is the view I think I like, although I might put Python over here and then split log over here if I was being picky. That's probably how I would do it. I'm a lefty, so I like it like that. Yeah, this is pretty close to like my ideal layout, I think. Right here. And then like feature map kind of defaults right there. Now, some people may have noticed that the feature map is not a doc widget. I can't like drag it around arbitrarily anymore. But there is a, oh, my system is real slow right now. I can just switch it right on top between the kind of two locations, right? So again, part of the goal here is to sort of simplify. We want to have the UI just do the right thing by default. Ooh, kernel drivers. That sounds fun. I don't know that I've actually ever done any kernel reversing. I would be really bad at that. That would be a fun one to watch me fail at on stream. So I need to figure out what is using all of my CPU because this is going real slow. Might have to kill a few apps looking for things here. Sorry, Slack. I think you're going to have to go bye-bye. Yeah, exactly, Eric. The idea is just to kind of like actually to, oh, right. So like right now, yeah, Control B is the hotkey that hides the side panel, for example. Although, you know, with like a snippet or the command palette, actually, yeah, hide global area, right? So you can add a hotkey for just that. So there's not one by default. Control B is one. Let's do, let's actually make one. So let's do Control P. Let's do bookmark or hotkeys. Key bindings rather. Oh, yeah, I should remember that. Oh yeah, my machine is struggling. Okay, so this is global area. So toggle global area. Can we do this Control Shift B? Let's try that. See what that does. Because now I can do Control B, Control Shift B. That might hit with something else. And this also could just be not working yet. Again, this is like from a test branch. This is, no, it works. My machine's just really sluggish. I think I'd have to bind. Oh no, it does. Yeah, it binds both the show and as the toggle. I think my window manager, something else is eating my Control Shift B, so that's probably not a good default hotkey. But you could bind that, and that would get you a nice maybe. Yeah, I gotta find a good control key that's nearby B to make that easier to remember. Yeah, that's a good point, Eric. So, all right. Let's go back to our list. I think we're closing in on everything else that happened. No, this was just a duplicate, right? I don't think this actually got, yeah. Solved. There's theme stuff. Oh, that was one I know I saw somebody, let's kill this stable one and let's open up a latest dev. Since I actually, maybe this one, I don't know if this one has it. Oh yeah, this one does. This was rebased very recently too. So you can open file location, which has always been there. And this is kind of nice. Like if you want to get your file browser at whatever location that file's in. But you can also open with options. So I think is it Control and Shift? If you just Control Shift, or maybe it's just Control. Let's try just Control. Yeah, it's Control and Shift. Control and Shift will open with options, and that will. Man, my machine is dog slow right now. But like if you didn't remember the hotkey, like I was not sure there a second ago, you can just right click on it now and open with options, which is nice to let you specify the load options for a particular file. So that's one of those very, very little things that I think is kind of nice. That was a duplicate. There's a little bug Glenn fixed. Crash and starting type. Yep, log warn. Variable liveness. Is this one? Oh, wait, this is a thing. I didn't see that this actually was a thing that Kyle landed. And maybe Kyle's still watching and he can explain it to us. So there is var live at. All right, so let's try this. Let's see if our test branch has been rebased on that. Oh, it's gonna pop a new browser, which is really gonna like slow my box down. Oh boy, wait for this. You can do it. All right, we got it. Okay, so oh, that's right. We already had a browser up. We just needed to get that. Is var live at. So let's go find this one. Yeah, it's in here. So this was perfect. Yeah, this is good enough to switch back and forth between dev and test. Is var live at? It's gonna take a variable and an instruction. In terms of the variables live at a given point, although is the instruction an instruction index? This feels like this actually should. Kyle, I'm curious. This feels like it should be if it's an instruction index versus a virtual address. I think there's better types for the type hinting on that. I'm not positive, but I feel like that's a thing. But let's actually, I guess we could try it and just see. And this lives off of, oh, this is only in high level IL, so it's definitely instruction index. Okay, so that's just high level IL instruction index, which I still think there's a type hint for that. So let's find a variable. Is var live at? Okay, cool. So let's so I'm gonna go into graph view, hit space, and then I can see the instruction index is here of the high level IL. So like let's take here, and this is instruction index 23. So current high level IL is the current function. Oh, it's so slow. It's so slow. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Close this down. I can't close the browser that's doing the desktop sharing, and I suspect that's what's causing all of it. I might be able to share the desktop inside the VM instead. I don't know if that would actually be faster, but I could kill my I could at least kill my my Chrome that lives outside the VM and just do it inside potentially. Might see if that, let's see here. What else is chewing up my CPU? Yeah, it's just all Chrome. It's all Chrome. I wonder if can I hide my preview? Or if I like minimize the, let's see what that does. We'll try it. All right. So current high level IL, we were on instruction index 23, right? So I can do, oof. No, this is not good. So current high level IL dot is var live at, and the var we're going to use is, oh, let's do current high level IL dot vars. Let's just grab a random one. I wonder if, is there anything, oh, I forget the, yeah, it's not my VM, that's for sure. It's definitely just, it's just the streaming. Yeah, it's just encoding and sending is using all of my CPU, my poor Intel Mac. Yeah, until I get one of those new fancy M1s, this backup is not going to work so good. All right, the other option would be, I think I could just switch my desktop capture. Oh no, the problem is I can't use the camera capture for the external monitor, because if I do that, then sorry, I'm getting my chat. Scroll to the bottom here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Because I can't see my monitor, so I could capture my external display, but then I would have to watch my own stream, which I guess might work. I could just do a full screen. Anyway, we'll figure that out later. This is at least better than having to cancel the whole stream the way I did like a couple months back when things died the first time. So it's survivable. All right, so let's just pull out some var. We're gonna do current HLIL.is var live at current HLIL.vars. We'll pick var 4 and index 23. This should just give me a true or false, which I would have to know what var 4 was to know what that actually means, but all right, give me false. I think I already showed off, right? Correct me if anybody remembers, but I think I already showed this here, right? The fact that I've got the Glenn's Hex plugin enabled. What's it called? Hex Integers in Python console. Oh, that's right. There's the new Kaitai that fixes it for, more about that later. Yeah, if you do use Kaitai, by the way, and you've been on the dev branch, there was a bug in it, and there was some test code that you could have cloned manually, not using the plugin manager. If you just cloned the repository, you could have been testing it out. But that now is pushed earlier today. So you can get that as well. And I think Ghidra Binary Ninja integration also got updated. So in terms of updates in the plugin manager, there's a couple of plugins that just recently got updated. But I think, you know, it'd be nice actually is if you could see the last updated like as a sort thing here. That would be kind of nice. So I think you might, yeah, I mean, I guess right now the only way you could do that is if you were following, so you can just go look at like the commit history here and see which plugins have been updated. Like that's one way to do it, which actually isn't a bad idea in general just to look at. Screenshot Ninja, explain instruction. Oh, explain instruction. I want to look at that real quick too. And yeah, the bin diffuser, which I've shown off several times on stream, all got updated this last week. Yeah, that's a good idea. I need to remember to make sure we show off the any of that. I think there's more comments that I can't see on this window. There we go. Vars -3 there. Okay, so yeah, I did have another message. All right, so let's do current vars -3 as one that maybe is true. Oh, it's definitely not going to work from here, is it? Switch back over and wait. The only good news is the fact that the machine I'm streaming from at least is not being hit by the CPU load. So that is the whole point here between, yeah. Understand that's not going to work. But now it should. Let's try again. Oh, current vars 3, right? Vars -3. Was I in the right spot? 23? Which one was -3? 1, 2, 3, racks 3. Oh, it looks like it should be. That one looks like it should be true, unless it's on line 22. I don't think the call should have anything to do with it. I'm just afraid to put my finger near my laptop and have it be burnt off if it's so hot right now. Yeah, that one also see current HLIL -3. That looks like it should have been live, right? If that's the same racks 3. Oh, that's right. That vars. That was not helpful, was it? All right, so let's see what this does. It doesn't have a var. Man, my iteration time is gonna be real long if I have to wait 5 seconds for every command type. Yeah, that's racks 3. Yeah, I don't know. Do I have to do it here? Well, I don't have to focus there. I should just do 21. All right. Well, in the meantime, yeah, let's see. We've got the Hex Integers plugin, which I already kind of half mentioned, but is racks 3 used again? Good question. Actually, how about is it live at 20? Would that do it? Gonna wait. So the updates on all the plugins, yeah. If it's gonna be this slow, I'm not gonna be able to do any reversing. No, Fox, probably not doing Crazy Bomb. Eric had a good suggestion earlier. My goal is to do a Windows binary. Wait, was Crazy Bomb Part 2? I don't remember if that was Windows. I don't think it was. But if I'm wrong, let me know. Because we specifically want to look at a random Windows binary, with the goal being that the next stable release of Binary Ninja, of course, is 3.0 coming out when it's ready. We don't have an exact time frame on it yet, but the release after that, so give or take 3-4 months from now, is going to be 3.1, and 3.1 is specifically aimed for Windows binaries. So it's a good idea to let's spend some time on stream looking at a Windows binary, and then everything I complained about or everything I get wrong or whatever we can make a note of, and then those will be good things to put on the list of stuff to work for. So yeah, I don't know, Kyle, about that. All right, if you got depending on how weird it is, send me a binary. If you've got one, I will bring Slack back up and bring my machine to a crawl again. While I use all the RAMs. You drop me that that binary, and if you want other people to share it as well, just drop it in the stream channel. Streams channel, plural rather. Or if you want to send it just to me, if you prefer, you can do it that way, whichever you prefer as well. But yeah, not against doing that then. We'll do a random Windows bin, and if it's really weird and broken, then hey, maybe those will be things that we'll put on the list. Okay, so, oops. Apparently I didn't turn on Do Not Disturb. Kyle, sorry I outed your message there on stream. Okay, it's turned on. Do Not Disturb is on. The second one he was trying. All right. Yeah, I'm usually pretty good about remembering both to turn on Do Not Disturb and to set my main window to be the other one so that alerts pop up over there. But got me that time. So Hex Integers is this plugin which I'm taking a really long time to explain. But the idea is that it shows you both hex values of things, although actually true and false maybe are another one of those edge cases maybe where it doesn't need to do that. But if I do like if I do a value that is a potentially like an address in this function or just some sort of hex value, and I print it out to the console, it will show me the hex value as well. For example, this is a great example, right? This is a completely meaningless number, but it just so happens to be very memorable if you're looking at it in hex. And so it would be a lot easier to remember to type the right number of zeros than it would be to remember all the digits of whatever that power of 2 is. So yeah, that's a useful, actually, I guess that looks a lot like just 32-bit maxint plus 1, right? So unsigned 30-bit maxint. All right. Let's see. That plugin, explain instruction, Ginja, Microblaze, and Bindefior. I kind of want to look at actually explain instruction. So let's actually check this out. So this is, I think this is one of the older plugins, and the reason that it wasn't ported was because it had a bunch of custom. Oh, and it's a panel too. Oh yeah, that's cool. It had it wasn't in the plugin manager because it had like custom UI stuff and it was doing its own thing. But now it's been redone here. Oh yeah, this is great. Okay, so let's check this one out. So let's restart this one, and let me check and see. Yeah, Fox, definitely dig up that binary, and if you drop it in the streams channel, I'll pull that up and we'll do that weird Windows binary as a non-stream thing. Oh, Windows Binja, my Mac, all these things. Okay, what is? Yep, thank you. I wonder if I think it's just this one tab. Stop putting the tab there. Oh, I know why. I know why all this is happening. Because I made that monitor my primary. That's why it's doing that more than normal. All right. That's easy enough to fix. Oh no, this is like literally switching everything. Okay, let's try this again. Thanks, Mac, for switching all of my terminals, all of my windows. All right, let's try this again. And oh, is it? All right, it's sharing the right screen still. Where's my VMware? But it moved it on this window. Yeah, it didn't. All right, so unmaximized. Move it over. Bring it up again. All right, so that's back. All right, so yeah, no surprise. It's just basically the encoding going on for OBS Ninja. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. There's nothing else I can close down. I guess I could try like in Firefox inside the VM. That maybe is a little bit faster, but excellent, sweet. You know, you're killing me. You're killing me. Why you got to put it on the wrong window? All right. So let's download. Agent 69. Clever name. All right. So, CLR compression.dll, CLR JIT, core CLR. Is this .NET? If this is .NET, this is going to be a very boring stream. If I try to reverse that, we'll look at that in a second, though. So, explain instruction. There it is. Now, I'm trying to figure out, it looks like a little, is it like a laptop with molecules on the screen, maybe? I'm curious what y'all's thoughts are on what the icon is. I think it looks like, let's see here. Wait, oh, no, make this bigger. There we go. Yeah, or a chain or a link. It's an SVG probably originally, so it's probably better if I did it that way, but anyway. All right, so we've got explain instruction. Let's try it. Let's go to our simple sample here. No worries, Fox. We'll take a look at it. If it is .NET, it's .NET. If it's not, it's not. We'll see what we can do. Although that is actually a good point that the planned 3.1 release still does not have any plans for adding .NET or JVM or any of the kind of VM style architectures. The goal is still to work with native ones. There has actually been a commit not too long ago that I think is still on a test branch, but it might be the beginnings of kind of like the architecture that would let us work with VM based machines a little bit better. It's essentially, it allows you to do function at a time lifting. So right now, you would need to do for disassembly and lifting, right? The idea would be that you would need something that can say, hey, I'm going to go scan this whole function and give me all these bytes. I'm going to give you a function with everything lifted and disassembled like in kind of one chunk. I might be explaining this wrong too, but Glenn's in the other room. Maybe he'll come in and he can explain to me, right, if I'm really doing it badly, because I think he committed the one test branch of this. The reason that that's important is because these virtual machine based setups will have like metadata at the top of a function. Because it's an interpreter, they will like parse this metadata and then they'll emulate or parse or script up or scan over the virtual opcode bytes in the function itself. It's not like a physical CPU that actually goes to a piece of memory and just starts directly executing it. So like the metadata at the top of the function, you'd have to like offset every call and that would mess up. Yeah, and so it makes things a little more complicated. The way that Binge's model is which is just like disassemble as fast as you can, look for basic block boundaries, and then figure out functions kind of later, or as you're doing it, figure out your functions. So function at time lifting is the feature. Okay. Yeah, so if it is .NET, then yeah, Binge would not be very useful on it. It would be a very, very uninteresting stream. So unfortunately, we won't be able to use that. But all right, I want to check out explain instruction though. So let's look at this one. So is this pulling it from the manual? And I can switch over to actually disassembly. Yeah, that's nice. I think that's a really good use of the sidebar too. And that's exactly what this is for. It's for like this kind of like contextual information. It's the perfect size, just a little bit extra bit of info, and it's it's really easy to like flip. Oops, I have my hotkeys bound differently. Is it this one? Yeah, I don't think I have it in my native machine. I have like command 1 2 3 4 bound to these menus, just because for me it's really easier to remember that. And so like, yeah, that's nice. I'm still trying to figure out what it is, if it's molecules or a chain. I'm not sure. Let me see. All right, so yeah, well that's nice. I like it when it's self-obvious. And then is this the full documentation? If I like, Does it go straight to my browser like the Intel manual? Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, it goes directly to this. Yeah, this is a nice site. Yeah, so if there's like some weird instruction that you're like, I have no idea what, these are all very normal instructions. Where's a weird instruction? How about, let's go, is it C? No, it's right lock is on. So let's turn that off. C00. I'm trying to remember some of the weirder opcodes. Might be in a non-writable section. Or we could just find some padding between. Oh, here's a little stub that either Binja doesn't think is reachable or is not actually reachable. C. Oh, I mean linear view. That's why C00C. For some reason, is that the one I'm thinking of? One of them is a little weird. That was not what I was thinking, but that's a pretty weird one. It's a weird, but it's more weird for the encoding rather than the. What was the? Let's see. Or what's a weird instruction? Oh, I wonder if it has like. I don't even think you can do AES instructions in YASM. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that's exactly right, Eric. Like, yeah, from my perspective, originally, it's like LLIL is the CPU dock. That reminds me, I do want to show something else nifty. That reminds me, note to self, or actually maybe one of the vector people, if they're listening, can make a note of this in our note stream channel. I didn't see it on the list of closed issues, but there's been some improvements to the instruction mappings. That I would like to show off too. What's some good weird instruction? All right, let's do cmove. I really have no idea off the top of my head the syntax for it. Yeah, that I'm not gonna get that right. All right, let's cmove x86. Yeah, I know it's the condition. Right, I get. Oh. All right, we could just guess. Let's just put a 0f47 in some bits and hope it lines up. Let's try that. So let's do, was it CF47? I read D. All right, that's a weird one. Ooh, interesting too. This one actually tells you if there's, yeah, there's no LLIL. So this one is unlifted, but we could then go straight to the dock. So that's, there you go, Eric. See, this is the reason why. I mean, actually, no, I mean, I do think you're kind of right, though, that like, if the LLIL is there, the LLIL should be simpler than reading this, for example. But for a lot of stuff, it's really nice to have the docs there. So I like it. I think that's super clean. Yeah, and then yeah, as a panel, just there you go. So okay, cool. Let me. I think I was doing this. I had a particular BusyBox sample that I've been using for this one. Let me see. Okay, there it is. Copy BusyBox to stream. Is that the folder? Let's try that. I don't think that's it. Is that it? Let's see if that's it. CDL stream. Not it. CD no. Oof. All right, we're just gonna SCP it into the VM. That'll be faster. Let's see. There we go. Streambox is my host name. Get your acoustic password recovery fired up. I think I do still have noise canceling on the mic though, so I don't know if the keyboard noise is coming through or not. All right, so move BusyBox x64 to samples. I'm gonna move you to 2 because it's a little more straightforward. Samples is already here. Okay, so we're gonna open up this BusyBox binary. It just happens to have some complex enough logic in it that it's a little better for this demo than some of the other kind of simpler samples. But yeah, so this is a change that Brian has been working on for a little while now, and the idea is that our lifting, when we go from assembly to low level to lifted IL to low level IL to medium high, when all the SSA forms in between, each one of those stages, right, is a little bit of an abstraction. And so you can actually see that pretty easily if you like show reflection. I should probably not try to do anything while my machine is also analyzing, because it's really going to hate me. But the translation from actual native opcode to low level IL is like very, it's almost 1-to-1. It's not quite. There's definitely instructions. The weird instructions will definitely lift to multiple. Like cmove is a great example. There's no conditional move IL operation. It'll actually just be a conditional and then the actual action or whatever the operation is. Well, a move, right? I guess if it's a cmove, it'll actually do whatever the load is of it. So let's turn off hide global. And so reflection view is still kind of the old doc widget system right now. So this will be going away in favor of the kind of built-in split panes. And then you could have multiple synced panes. Maybe you want all the ILs shown in sync as you scroll through them. So it'll be kind of superseded, but a lot of like the same functionality is going to be here. So, all right, so I've got my normal view is high level IL. This looks like main. Let's go to main. Let's see, where's a good? Yeah, like, so here's an example over here, right? Actually, I'm in medium level IL. I'm gonna switch down to just disassembly. So if I have like this line, you'll notice there are, let me just zoom out, you can kind of see it's a little faint, but right there's like this block of like yellow, and then there's like a kind of line of blue. The color's a little bit different if you're on the default dark theme, but the idea is that all of these expressions, all of these things from high level IL are actually coming from all of these different assembly instructions. And so we had kind of mappings, like you could from before, you could have tried to query this, but what you would have gotten a while ago was current high level IL 72. You basically get what's the address of it, what's the assembly from that address. Okay, there you go. That's what the mapping is, and that's what I think you're going to see in this dark blue. Yeah, so this is like 8.1. Oof, this VM so slow. So slow. Yeah, exactly. That address is the same as this one. So that is the one. Well, back to medium level IL. Go to disassembly. Oh, I think there's a setting that controls that is on in this VM that I changed to my native one. It is. No, default's disassembly. Okay. It's got them all. I thought there was something that I changed that maybe I changed something that's not the defaults. But anyway, so this this high level IL line here, this whole thing boils down to multiple disassembly instructions. And so wait, so there is I think a bug when you change views and come back if you just deselect and reselect it. That's one of those, a small bug with it right now. So you can see these are the multiple assembly instructions that do it. Brian, several months ago, when I have showed it off on stream, like this mapping before, has really been working on improving these, but he landed another commit Monday, sometime earlier this week, that worked with conditional expressions on like if statements. So for example, if I've got, let's just look for like an if where there's multiple, here we go, like if this or not equal, like that's a lot of different conditionals. They're all kind of being folded into one logical check. And so we can actually, in reflection view, you can see there's a ton of assembly now that we're essentially all being modeled. So we've got lots of branches. Or, well, in this case, where's the branches? There's a branch, right? These are all conditional branches here. Each one of these is all being, they're all parts of this different expression here. And like we could even do stuff like, so for example, what I said is this is 72? Or no, this is not 72. I don't remember. Let's see here. Which one is this? Is it faster to use the Python console and hit enter, or is it faster to hit space and look at the graph view? We shall see. I think they're both slow. I'm wondering why, I guess, Anyway, oh, that was the assignment. That's not this one. So I have to hit space anyways. It's 84. Space was faster. All right. So I think actually, can you turn on instruction indexes in linear view? I don't remember this. I'm legitimately curious. But I do have to hit space again, which was apparently a bad idea. Is it? Yeah, it's still going. All right. Options. Show address. Yeah. Oh, these are kind of fun, by the way. If you're in low-level IL view, that's something that I only saw recently. If you go to the advanced options down there, but okay. Yeah, I don't think show address does not show the instruction index here, and that might be, if memory serves, is that because it's, because I know there are some differences between linear IL, like in particular, like around for loops and how basic blocks work versus the AST that essentially makes up the linear view. So there might be some limitation. That's why that's not there. Either way, it's high level IL instruction index 84, right? So this is an if statement, right? Oh, I already saw that because I saw it there. So that was a waste of 5 seconds. So I've got this if statement, but all of these comparisons here are going to be part of they're going to be the condition, I think, on the that. So is it the operation is an if, but is it dot condition? I think is going to give me the ors and the ands and all that stuff kind of as a part of it. Let's see here. Yeah, it's dot condition. So the condition, there'll be like an outer one, which will be like either an and or an or, and then there's just going to be, I think there's going to be like a dot left or right for whatever that one is. Again, it's kind of, we're sort of walking the AST by exploring this. And man, I really gotta think through what I type before I run it. This makes me a little more careful. Try to combine things up. So hopefully this one works. All right, so there's a left condition, which is just this first part, which makes sense, right? There's the outer or. So if I would have checked operation on that condition, it would have been an or. Or an HLIL or, but it's got a left and it's got a right. And so that left is itself an expression, a high-level IL expression. It's got an expression index, which I'm not going to type, but I could type index. And it's going to give me a number, and so instruction indexes are for like, you know, what I'm using to index off the high-level IL. But the expression index is a little more granular. There can be expressions that are smaller parts of it. So I'm not going to do that, but I could. But this thing, for example, actually maps back. I could just map back just this expression, right? And I can get now the multiple low-level ILs, or and I can use those to get multiple assembly addresses, again, because the low-level IL tends to be much more one-to-one mapped back to the byte. So if you want to figure out like what instructions this comes from, you see all of these statements here. But if I just check like on the current high-level IL self, the whole thing, I'm going to get a much bigger list of IL. Well, I can see it. It's all of the things that I map to here. When it loads, I'm going to get more things that are the overall statements mappings. So anyway, these mappings, yeah, there we go. Much bigger list, right? Because it's essentially giving me the low-level IL for all of these expressions. So the fact that you've got much more accurate mappings now between these is really useful, right? So if you want to be able to say, where does this given line of high-level IL, what bytes in the file does it correspond to? You've actually got now much better information. So again, these APIs are kind of been in progress in improving, but just on Sunday there was like a nice improvement here where you have really nice handling of these compound conditionals. And I think the same thing with like call instructions, where oftentimes inside the call you'll see like one of the parameters is actually a result of another call or something else like that. Same kind of thing. You're going to get actually correct sort of creation of or correct mappings of all of the different ILs there. So that's another nice change. I'm kind of taking my time on some of these because I don't think I'm going to be able to do any reversing given how. Oh yes. So Eric, is instruction or it's so the mapping in reflection view represents essentially the dot. I believe Brian might have to correct me. I don't know if he's watching or not. It maps basically the addresses of all of the low-level IL instructions, right? Because the low-level IL instructions map. I think it goes through low. It goes through directly from high to low to the addresses, but I'm not 100% positive. I guess we could probably just look at the low-level IL as well and figure it out, but it's a little too slow right now. So this is going to show me all of these things that have anything to do with that high-level IL. But I could query the API specifically on a sub-expression, right? I can actually given a sub-expression, I can then ask it for its associated low-level ILs. Does that answer your question? I'm not entirely sure if I understood it correctly. So it will work on the instruction, but will also work on expressions, and it will be kind of more granular if you access them specifically. All right. So let's see. I think, yeah, I like explain instruction. I'm happy with that improvement. I think that really shows off the sidebar nicely. Although it does bring up the point too, which is, you'll notice I got reflection view here. Really, it belongs split view up here. But depending on your window size, you're going to run out of space for a bunch of side panel icons. And so one thing we're going to have to figure out is like what happens right now. They just, you notice that they're just like clumping right up against it, and it gets crunched. But it needs to have like either overflow or like a more button. I think we're leaning towards a more button, but we need to have something like that. Oh, different. Okay, sorry, not so much the mappings, but yeah, the difference between an instruction versus an expression. Instruction indexes are all, hopefully I get this right. Let's see if somebody needs to correct me. Instruction indexes are all sort of like high-level nodes in the AST for that, or not even AST, just in like the like it's a whole line. Just if you're sort of looking at it visually, right? Like this whole line of code, whatever, like this whole thing represents one IL instruction. This is one IL instruction. This is an IL instruction that's an assignment. It's like a multiple assignment. So I don't, go forward, please. Yay. I hit back and escape instead of backtick. So like this one here is, so it's line 83, right? So it's current high-level IL instruction 83. So that is the unique index. And that's for this given function, that's its high-level IL instruction index 83. So that's like, right, and like it's like a multiple assignment where it's a call. So the source of the assignment is actually going to be a separate IL operation and a high-level IL call operation. But the highest level thing is going to be this assignment here. Yeah, so it's an assign unpack, right? Like an assign of multiple destinations. But do I have a source? I don't know what the actual, oh, not operation. Do I have a source here? Yeah, so I have a source operand, and this source operand is going to be a call expression, right? So expressions are nodes in the tree of the instructions, right? And another way Oh, that wasn't what I expected. Source operand. I don't want source operand. I want. How to get should be a property. I mean, I could probably just check operands. It's going to be there, but there's like a more specific name for it. It's too slow to bring up BNIL graph, but that's what I would normally do. And so that's another way of looking at it. If I were to run BNIL graph on one of these, I get this pretty flow graph, right, of this sort of decomposition, and basically every node in that is its own whole operation is a sub-expression and has an expression ID, so or expression index. So like for example, this has an instruction index of 83, but the 0, 1. This call has an expression index. Let's see if I got that right. We'll find out in 5 seconds. This actually has an expression index. And so there are some APIs that work with expressions and some that work with instructions. And that's actually one of the nice improvements for the 3.0 API refactor is that you can now tell the difference in the type hints. It used to just be like, it's an int. Okay, clearly I did not do. Still may not be right, but you can tell. You can have a type hint that says this takes an instruction index and this takes an expression index. And even though they're literally just ints, they're just numbers in both cases, it actually can give you like hint information. So that's not getting me that's getting me like just the operation. It's not the destination of the expression ID. Yeah, so there's the expression index on the high level as well that assign unpack, but there's going to be a more specific one for like the stuff on the right essentially. I should probably here actually let's do this one. Let's do 82 is just going to be a much more simpler assignment. So, and that one I believe does just have a source. So if I do, yeah, you'll notice exactly 140, hex 143 is the expression index, but the instruction index is 83. Okay, so that's probably a longer, or 323 versus 83. Longer explanation than you did. Let's see, 2 source. Not source operand, is it? No, it's not. It's SR. Is it just SRC? Yes. See, we shouldn't abbreviate. Source dot expression index. Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's where again the source of which in this case this expression is literally just it's going to be an IL constant, but it's going to have an expression index for that. Okay. All right. Hex Integers plugin. Variable aliveness. Oh, I do want to show one little thing because I actually kind of was playing around with this earlier, and I thought this is a nice visual demonstration of things. So if I'm looking through, right, my high-level IL, and I want to see which bits of assembly does it map to, and let's move this. Can I forget how to make reflection? There it is, and just drag it. Okay. This layout makes a little more sense for this. Everyone say goodbye to Andrew. Oh, he's not leaving yet. He's just gathering his stuff. I like talking to people off camera when they're like walking by and they're like, why are you talking to me? It's fun being back in the office for the streams. So, all right. So if I'm looking through, and again, reflection, we can just see these highlights, right? And so you can see all these chunks of code. Right, as I select something, I'm gonna get like, this whole block of all of these instructions. But if I switch back to medium level IL and I do the same thing, is it gonna look different? No, it's pretty similar. I've got big chunks of code. In fact, I've actually just got more, well, actually, no, there's different. Like, right, I've got similar kind of thing, multiple big chunks of code. Some of them are smaller, like, right, like this is this load of, oh wait, why is this showing a little file? That's fair. That's fine. It shouldn't be a big deal. But I think it's remembering my settings between these. Yeah, it is. That was why it was showing that disassembly. I have to set this to disassembly each time. Yeah, I think it's got my... I'm just really confused as to what order it's doing it in now. All right, let's go from low-level IL to disassembly. If you watch this again, this is because low-level IL is really very one-to-one. All right, I mean, there are like cmove and stuff like that, but the vast majority of these native opcodes... Oh no, my mouse is completely frozen. Okay, my poor computer. Actually, you know what I'm waiting to discover is that the battery's been draining itself, because I bet it has. Oh, it's actually doing all right. My power brick is keeping up for once. Sometimes when the Mac really gets loaded, it'll actually drain faster than it can charge. So again, going from this low-level IL to disassembly, as I scroll through, you don't see a lot of yellow. It's really just the blue cursor. And the yellow always is going to occur on these like go-tos, or not go-tos, ifs rather, right? So ifs are because there's a test and then a JE or JZ, right? So these two instructions are converted into this if, but other than that, it's like one-to-one. As I step through, we see that. So I really like this as just a nice visual demonstration of, you know, what low-level IL is doing. And then if I hit I and I go to medium-level IL and map it back to disassembly, now we're going to start seeing these chunks of code. There we go, right? Where there's like multiple instructions that are all apart. Oh, it's a call, right? Because in medium-level IL, the arguments are split out. It's got our, you know, our platform and our parameter detection and type information may be applied. So you'll see the call, but where are all the arguments? Oh, this is the call to the same function, so they're both being highlighted instead of just the line. But oh, actually, is that the same as E? Huh. These are showing, both of these calls are shown as associated with this one right here. I'm curious why that is. Kind of want to go play with that one later. But yeah, the idea is that again, we have lots of things being shown up as related, whereas when I switch to high level IL, I see even more. And now I've got like these compound if statements that that when I switch to disassembly again, it stops fighting me. There's some setting I've got different on this box that's doing that. I forget, what is it? Oh, I think I need to turn off IL synchronization. That's what did it, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh, that's what it was. All right, that'll drive me nuts. Okay, so now if I'm on high level IL, that's how you know Brian's not watching, is he'd be like, Jordan, why do you have IL synchronization on? Then you complain that you have IL synchronization on. Right, you can see all these things kind of being folded together, like multiple things, because this is multiple things. Like there's actually like multiple, you know, comparisons that are being folded into this. So I just like that as kind of a little visual demo. Anyway, all right. Make sure I'm missing anything on chat. Again, you putting it on the wrong screen. Oh, I think I put the jet over there. Cool. All right. I'm not going to try to reverse something today just because my machine is borderline unusable. I think it was enough to show off a couple little things like that, but I don't want to wait between every operation 5 seconds that I do. So we'll probably wrap it up here soon. If anybody has any other questions, though, let me know. Oh, I did get word, too. The Binary Ninja Basics series is... I'll switch back. I gotta use my need the excuse to switch back more often using my switcher. Binary Ninja Basics series is coming along. I think we're up to episode 6 in the video edits. So I just got to get those published and live, but we should have several more of those. If you're watching the stream all the time, you've already probably seen them. But if other people that you know are like, hey, I want to get started with Binary Ninja, like, where's the crash course? You know, watch Binary Ninja Basics 1 through 6. It's only going to be like half an hour, you know, 45 minutes of total kind of content, all these little smaller videos. And we'll give you a lot of nice overviews. They're all like indexed, and so you can get to just the stuff that you care about really quickly. So gotta get that published. But I think that's about it today. Sorry for the issues at the beginning, kind of get everything set up. Now I don't know what I need to do with that capture card. It works fine right up until I go live, and then it's decided it's not. So I guess I got to get the stream set up and like ready exactly an hour, and then just don't touch it while it's still working. So cool. All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Good to see everybody. We will be back in 2 weeks, and I think in 2 weeks I'm gonna have this set up to bring somebody else in too. So we're gonna make sure we get somebody else on stream to join me, so it's not just me talking to myself. And we'll definitely do some RE. I do like the Windows binary suggestion. I might show off a few other things that we kind of got planned, but I think we would try to do a binary as well. So sounds good. Talk to everybody later. Bye bye.